Hello everybody, Nana Des. How's everybody on this Saturday? I hope everybody's doing really well. I'm doing okay. I was right up until I seen a little clip on the Luke Beasley show there on YouTube. A little riled up, and I just have to warn you that I did take a gummy before I even start this. But first of all, I'm going to start off with something a little light, a little humorous. Let's get into it, shall we? First of all, the Freedom Caucus. Did you know that it's technically a secret? Yeah, nobody's supposed to know who's on that. I think we all know who's on the Freedom Caucus. And we know who got kicked out too, right? That'd be Maggoty Trader Peen. But anyway, they have a new squad that they have formed, and it's called the Floor Action Response Team. It's so fitting for the methane-spewing MAGA fascists that they are. Floor Action Response Team, F-A-R-T. How apropos is that? Just saying. Okay, what they're doing is, minus Maggoty's on the fringes, like she still talks to all them people, and they talk to her. But for the most part, they're giving her the side eye every once in a while, you know. Yeah. So anyway, they're toting Putin's line, and you know, Maggoty Trader Peen there, she is now Moscow's little queen. That's right, she's now the star on all of Putin's sanctioned news agencies and networks. That's right, they show her picture everywhere. She's the new darling of the communist regime, but yet she calls Biden a communist. I don't think she knows the meaning of that, or fascist for that matter. No, she is part of the news agency, the Moscow regime. No, the real one, the absolute real one. The one whose leader has a huge grip on Trump's weenus. Just saying, well, why else would he be praising him and shouting all the good stuff? Got a firm grippy right there, just saying. Now, that one has his party constantly spy on their own and get back to him. And then all of a sudden there's a convenient window that they fall out of. Usually 6 floors or higher. So anyway, they want their crack team of spies on duty. That's right. They want their caucus, the extreme MAGAs, to actually prevent allies of Mike I've Got No Johnson from trying to reduce their power. They're supposed to all be on the same team, but apparently not. Now, the new FART caucus, FART and caucus, is activated now to monitor the floor of Congress in scheduled shifts. That's right, they're taking turns to block rule changes by the leader. They are growing more paranoid every single day, thinking that, they might be getting removed from some of the biggest committees, like the House Rules Committee. Right, Marjorie? Or if there's word that Johnson's wanting to increase the number of votes it takes to vacate him, they need to know that. So they're following around, and if they see anybody talking to him, they kind of get behind him and go, listen in, right? So they think that he's going to change it from 1 vote to, I don't know, maybe 5. Isn't that what it used to be? It'd be 5 votes to vacate, to vote for him to get out of the chair. But Mini Mike has already said that he won't increase that number that Kevin agreed to. However, the border foreign aid bill was supposed to be dead on arrival too, right? Flip, flop, flip, flop. Forbes, February 15th, 2024, said October 23, Mike Johnson said he would pass a border bill in exchange for aid to Ukraine. He never expected to pass immigration legislation because Trump had already said, not happening. No, don't do that. I won't have anything to run on. So after months of less than no effort whatsoever, it's clear to Mini Mike Johnson, the entire goal was to make sure to keep the House from voting on Ukraine aid. And the Russian advances are coming swifter now, and they've already taken the city of Avdiivka. Say that 10 times fast. And the Ukrainian military's dwindling ammo is a direct result of Republicans dragging their feet. So in short, any MAGAs, and this is a direct quote, who don't give aid to Ukraine is giving aid to Putin. That came directly from the United States Ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul. So yeah, fart to your heart's content, folks. You are all traitors and you stink as much as Donald J. Trump does, defending Trump, who's been farting his ass off in court and just fouling the air. He's a foul mess. He really is. Even his legal counsel at the table are kind of like gagging. He falls asleep and the farts just roll. Just saying. Now, Maggoty traitor, after they passed that bill, she got up and she made a big ranting friggin' mess on the House floor. And this is why I took a gummy. She said this is repulsive, that Americans are going to send money so Ukrainians can get killed. That doesn't... She doesn't know what she's talking about. Because you know what? When they were giving out brains, she thought they said trains and took a slow one. Just saying. Ukraine isn't part of NATO, she says. But aren't you the same one, Maggoty traitor, that wants to give aid to Israel? Guess what? Israel isn't a part of NATO either, but you don't seem to have a problem there. And I swear to who's ever up there that she is dimmer than a 2-watt fucking searchlight. Honest to God, and just as useful. By passing the aid bill for Ukraine is somehow killing Ukrainians. She's a fool. She's a stupid fool. Putin is the only one that's killing Ukrainians. You go on about Hamas and how horrible they were and they slaughtered Israelis and everything else. Guess who's supporting Putin? That's right. Iran is funding those drones and sending those drones to Russia that are killing people in Ukraine. So yes, Putin is every bit as evil as goddamn Hamas is. Just saying. Putin is the exact same bastard as Hamas is. Now, why don't you crack a fucking book? Or do you prefer Donald Trump's little picture books and graphs there? And do we have to put your name in there 100 times to keep your attention so you understand what you're reading? Do we have to do that for you? Anyway, we don't know where the money's going. Yes, you do. You know goddamn good and well where it's going. You're just out in front of the camera with the big microphone in front of your face again because you like that. That's where the Republicans are going, and they're pushing these. Zelensky went out and used our money and bought these 3 big fancy yachts. Well, no, he didn't buy those yachts. Those yachts were Russian-owned until they were seized from sanctions. And some of them are being stored in U.S. customs. So, no, he did not buy 3 big fancy yachts with all the money that the Americans are giving them. 2, they said that Zelensky's wife went and bought millions of dollars of diamonds when she was in New York City. But you know the funny thing about that was? They weren't even in the United States when those pictures were taken. That was before the war. Yeah. Guess where they were? They were giving a speech on Parliament Hill in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, our capital. That's where they were that day. That foreign aid does nothing for hardworking Americans. Only you know what, Maggoty? It really does. It really does, because all the munitions that are being sent overseas and abroad are all made in the United States, in factories, in your own fucking country. You twit. Honest to God. And they're getting paid very good wages. And Ralph Norman says, how long are we putting America last? See, that's just another idiot that's spewing all this garbage first and doesn't think of consequences of what's coming out of his face. So for all that is green and sweet suffering Jesus, please make sure you're registered to vote. Vote blue all the way through, right down to friggin' dog catcher if you have to. But please, vote these people out. The amount of insanity that is coming out and the paranoia is off the chain. Naughty Nana loves you. Be good, be safe. Please take care of you first. I love you. Mwah. Time for another gummy. Swear to God. Ugh.